But the water does not stop. It finds its way through the smallest gaps between your fingers. It wears away at your resolve, particle by particle. And eventually, your arms grow tired. You must pull them back, and you see that the river was never truly in your grasp. It was only ever in your experience. The holding was the illusion. The letting go was the reality.
Now, close your eyes for a moment. Not the eyes in your head, but the eyes behind them, the ones with which you look upon your own life. And tell me, is your life not also such a river? A flow of moments, of feelings, of thoughts that you desperately try to hold. The joyful moment you beg to linger, the painful one you strive to push away. The memory you clutch until it becomes a dull, smooth stone, all its edges worn away by your constant worrying.
We believe that to live is to grasp, to possess, to control the current. We build dams of routine, of expectation, of identity, hoping to pool the water into a manageable, predictable lake. We call this security. We call this a life well-ordered.
But I must ask you, what happens to a pond that does not flow? It becomes stagnant. The water grows thick. It ceases to sing. It merely exists. Now look up with me, beyond the roof of your room, beyond the thin blanket of our atmosphere, into the profound velvet darkness. For that river of your life is but a tiny whispering tributary of a much greater river, a colossal unfolding event we call the universe. And this universe, it is expanding. For a long time, this was merely a number to me, a calculation, the redshift of nebulae, the solution to a field equation. But a man cannot live long with a truth without beginning to feel its texture, to hear its music. And the music of this expansion, it is the most silent, the most profound symphony ever composed. It is not an explosion of chaos. It is not a frantic flight from something. It is a graceful, relentless, and yes, a peaceful letting go. Every galaxy, every star, every spinning planet is participating in this great cosmic release. They're not holding on. They're not clinging to a central point, a safe and singular origin. They are trusting the process. They are moving with the flow of space-time itself. The universe expands because it knows how to let go. It is the most fundamental lesson written in the stars, and yet we, with our clever, fearful minds, have failed to read it. We believe the opposite. We believe that to hold on to our possessions, our beliefs, our certainties, our very sense of self is to be strong. But the cosmos, in its infinite wisdom, demonstrates that true strength, true vitality, lies in the release. Consider the star. It does not hoard its light. For billions of years, it pours its very essence out into the void, a prodigal gift of photons without any expectation of return. It gives itself away, and in that magnificent, terrifying self-expenditure, it creates the possibility for planets, for oceans, for life, for you. A star that tries to hold on to its fuel is a star that will never truly shine. It will collapse under the weight of its own unspent potential. Is your own life so different? The thoughts you clutch so tightly, your resentments, your rigid opinions, your detailed plans for a future that does not yet exist, do they not become a weight upon your consciousness? Do they not dim your inner light? You are trying to be a rock in the river when the universe is asking you, is showing you how to be the river itself. Let us explore this thought together. Let us not be afraid to follow it into the deepest waters, to the very edges of understanding. For it is here, in the space between holding on and letting go, that we may finally understand what it means to be alive, not as isolated beings fighting the current, but as a conscious part of the current itself. So, if the clock is a tyrant, what is the true emperor? What is this time to which we must surrender? The answer is not a simple one, for it cannot be found on a dial or a digital screen. It must be felt, like the warmth of the sun on your skin after a long winter. Do not look to your watch for the answer. Look instead to your own body. Place a hand upon your chest. Do you feel it? That steady, rhythmic pulse, the beating of your heart. Here is a clock that cannot be rushed. It has its own tempo, a wisdom written in the language of biology. You cannot command it to slow its celebration of life, nor can you force it to quicken with genuine joy. It simply is. It is a rhythm you did not create, but from which you cannot be separated. When you are anxious, it races ahead of you. When you are at peace, it settles into a calm, steady walk. It is your first and most intimate teacher in the art of surrender. Now, look outside your window. See the tree, standing in silent patience? It does not fret that the bud is not yet a leaf. It does not strain to force the blossom open a day earlier. It rests in the deep, unshakable knowing of the seasons. It trusts the sun to rise, the rain to fall, and the silent, invisible pull of the earth and sky. Its entire existence is a testament to a schedule far grander and more reliable than any human appointment book. It does not spend its time, it lives its time, moment by moment, in perfect alignment with the cosmos. This heartbeat, this tree, the turning of the planets, the slow, majestic dance of the galaxies. This is the rhythm of the real, the rhythm of life itself. Your struggle, your deep-seated anxiety, arises because you are living by one rhythm while being an inseparable part of another. You are a symphony, a complex, beautiful arrangement of biological and cosmic processes trying to follow the frantic staccato beat of a metronome, while all around you and within you is a vast, flowing, celestial melody itself. The conflict is exhausting. It is the source of that constant background hum of dissatisfaction, the feeling that you are always late for an appointment you never made. I recall a summer I spent as a boy, lying in a small boat on a calm Swiss lake. The boat had no oars. I had no destination. For the first hour, I was restless. My mind was a list of things I should be doing, of places I should be going. I was fighting the stillness. I was trying to possess that afternoon, to wring every drop of productivity from it, to ensure it was not wasted. But the lake would not be rushed. The clouds drifted at their own majestic pace. The water lapped gently against the hull with a hypnotic, timeless rhythm. A dragonfly landed on the bow, its wings shimmering in the sun, a tiny jewel of the eternal present. And slowly, without my even noticing, my internal resistance faded.
My breathing slowed to match the gentle rock of the boat.
My thoughts, once a frantic swarm, settled like dust motes in a sunbeam. I was not doing anything, I was not going anywhere, and yet I was experiencing everything. I was part of the scene, not an observer of it. I had ceased to fight the current of time and had instead become one with its flow. When I finally sat up, the sun was lower in the sky. I had accomplished nothing by the world standards. I had no fish to show, no distance traveled to record. But I returned to shore feeling richer than any king. I fell full. I had not possessed that time. I had inhabited it. I had surrendered to its flow, and in return, it had given me its essence. It had given me a memory that to this day carries the weight of eternity.
A single minute of genuine awe, watching a shooting star streak across the heavens, holding the hand of a newborn, understanding a beautiful truth for the first time, can contain more life, more reality than a year of anxious clock watching, of crossing off days on a calendar, of rushing towards a future that never seems to arrive. Your modern world is obsessed with saving time. But I must ask you, what are you saving it for? You are like a miser, hoarding empty boxes, believing their number is your wealth, while forgetting to fill them with anything of value.
You have compressed years into a blur of efficiency, yet you feel you have had no time at all. You have managed the clock, but you have lost the moment.
The great paradox, the one that lies at the heart of our meditation, is this: the more you try to save time, the less of it you truly have.
The more you try to control it, to compartmentalize it, and force it into your neat little schedules, the faster it slips through your fingers. It is like trying to clutch a handful of smoke. Your tight grip, your anxiety, is what ensures you lose it. But when you release that grip, when you stop counting the minutes and start feeling them, when you trade the map for the territory, something miraculous begins to happen. Time ceases to be your master, your pursuer, and becomes your element. You do not pass through time. Time flows through you. And in that flow, you find not a scarcity, but an overwhelming abundance. A single, fully lived moment can feel like an eternity, and in a way, it is. For in that moment, you have touched the timeless. This feeling of scarcity, this eternal rush, has a name. It is called the mind. Not the brain, that magnificent organ, but the ceaseless, chattering voice inside it. This voice is a time traveler. It is almost never where you are. It is either sifting through the ashes of the past, or it is anxiously building castles and prisons in the future. And in this constant journey, it commits a grave error. It mistakes its thoughts about the past for the past itself. It mistakes its worries about the future for the future itself. It lives in a world of ghosts and phantoms, all the while believing it is dealing with solid reality. This is the great human tragedy: to be a creature born of the eternal present, yet to spend one's life in exile from it. Think of a painful memory, not a mild annoyance, but a true heartache. When you remember it, where does it exist? Is it happening now? Of course not. The event is gone, finished, a page already turned in the book of your life. But your mind, That diligent time traveler goes back to that page.
It reads the words. It feels the emotion. And then, through a trick of consciousness, it projects that old, faded emotion into your present body. You feel the clench in your stomach, the tightness in your chest now. You are reliving a shadow. You are allowing a ghost to share your lunch.
This is not learning from the past. This is being haunted by it. It is an attempt to possess a moment that has already flowed into the sea, to control an event whose story is already written. It is the ultimate futility.
Now, turn your gaze forward. Consider your anxiety about tomorrow, a difficult conversation, a financial worry, a fear of failure. Where does this future exist? It does not. It is a phantom, a story your mind is writing based on incomplete data and deep-seated fears. You are trying to solve an equation with half the variables missing. You are trying to possess and control a reality that is pure potential, that has not yet taken form. In your attempt to secure a future that does not exist, you're robbing the only reality that does, the present. This is the prison. The walls are made of past regrets and future fears. The warden is your own chattering mind, convinced it is protecting you by keeping you locked in this cell of time. You look out through the bars and see your life, the real, vibrant, present moment life passing you by, and you call this being responsible. But what is the alternative? Is it to become a leaf in the wind with no direction, no memory, no plan? No, that is merely another form of bondage, the bondage of chaos. The alternative is to become the warden of a different realm, the present moment. The present moment is not a point on a line between past and future. That is another clock time illusion. The present is a condition, a state of being. It is the only place where life actually occurs. The past is a memory, occurring now. The future is an anticipation, occurring now. The only thing that is ever real is this eternal, ever-unfolding now. To surrender to time is to surrender to this now. It is to release your tight grip on the ghost of the past and the phantom of the future, and to finally, fully feel the solid ground beneath your feet. It is to trade the prison of time for the freedom of the present. When you are fully present, a curious thing happens to time. It slows down, or rather, your experience of it deepens. A musician lost in the flow of a performance is not counting beats. She is in the music. Time becomes the music. A scientist on the verge of a discovery is not watching the clock. He is immersed in the mystery. Time becomes the search. A lover gazing into the eyes of the beloved is not thinking of yesterday's quarrel or tomorrow's chores. He is here, fully. In that moment, time stops. It becomes love. This is not a poetic exaggeration. It is a psychological and perceptual reality. When you are identified with the activity of the present moment, the tyrannical clock time recedes, and a richer, more fluid, more spacious experience of time emerges. You are no longer fighting time. You are collaborating with it. You are dancing with it. And in this dance, you begin to possess it in the only way it can ever be possessed. Not by owning it, but by being it. You are the dance. The eternal now is not a moment in time. It is the very fabric of existence. To possess time, you must cease to chase it. Become the stillness between heartbeats, the space where past and future merge into a single, boundless present. In this surrender, you do not lose time, you become it. You are no longer a traveler rushing through landscapes, but the sky that holds them all. This is the final truth. You are not in time. Time is in you.